If you're in a location where you don't have a container to boil your water, and it's just taking too long to boil your water, and you're surrounded by clay, so you can't dig a well and use that to filter your water because the water can't get through the clay to fill up your well, you can make a carbon filter. And so I've got charcoal here, I've got sand and gravel, and then I've got willow leaves. I know those are safe to use as a filter. And then I've taken willow bark. It's not very flexible. It would be better to make this a cone shape, but all I've done is I've clogged the end with some clay because I've got plenty of clay around, and any cracks that I saw or potential cracks, I've just closed those up with clay so that the water won't leak out and get into my container and potentially contaminate it. And I've just layered all those three items. So I put the willow leaves in, behind that gravel, charcoal, willow leaves, gravel, charcoal, all the way up. And so I'm starting the filtering process with the willow leaves. Now you may notice I've got a little stick here. That piece of clay is shaped into a funnel, so when all the water gets down there, it's going to funnel that out, and this acts like my cork. So I just pull that out and let it slowly drip out. It takes some time for that water to get down through here, so don't think it's going to be immediate. It may take an hour to fill up your container, but that's what you want. You want a slow process so you can filter out all the pathogens. And then the reason I left this stick in while I was building it is I didn't want it to close the hole up because the clay is still soft and it's going to have to remain soft or it'll crack. And so you may have to replace that every day, every other day. It just depends on how wet it stays. If it stays pretty wet, you won't have to replace it as often. And so when I get ready to use this, I'm going to hang it up in the tree, and then I'll pour my water in, it'll filter down, and then it'll come out that area here, and then I can pull that stick out before I start using it. Just make sure you don't pull the whole cork out. And now it's ready to use. So I'd pour my water in once I tie it up into a tree. Now if you didn't have cordage, you could use natural cordage to keep this closed. Or let's say you don't have any cordage at all, you could take a lot of clay and cover this and make it a giant funnel. That works too. You can use clay by itself and then just stack these items inside clay, but it's going to crack over time. You got to keep it pretty wet for the clay to stay and keep its funnel shape.